AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Yeah. Fabian perspective. Yeah. It's me. Fabian perspective. Let go. Unknown. We love you though. AllBall in the AM. We got a bunch of suggestions here. Shout out to my guy. Bibish requesting some names. He's paying attention to the AllBall AM. Everyone leaving names, suggestions. Bibish. Excuse me. No, this is not Bibish. This is a user QQ9LDL3QS. Clearly, he didn't make a name. He suggests the morning ball, morning hardwood ball, morning ball, rising ball, awaken ball. Awaken ball sounds dope. Awaken balling. I love it. Let's go. Best part of the morning, gang. Jules. Love you. Rodolfo in the building. June 7th, 2024. Friday. It's Friday, y'all. Happy Friday to all you guys who are making it to the end of the week. It's a beautiful day out there. Beautiful day out there. Let's tell you how the weather's looking like. 70 degrees right now in New York City. I know some of you guys are in Atlanta. We've seen Texas. We've seen different parts of the country. We got to get where exactly everyone's from. I'm going to look in the YouTube analytics. As of right now, we got New York City, the New York City area. I'm a little biased, obviously. 83 degrees today will be the high. We're at 70 degrees right now. It's looking sunny. Ain't nothing funny. If you got paid this week, you got a little money for the weekend. Humidity's at 81%, so it's not that bad. And it's crazy because you know when you get upstairs, at least in an apartment in New York, if you live in an apartment, you know once you walk through the door sometimes, you're telling yourself, it's going to be hot today, or it's hot right now. The humidity creeps up there. Today, I walked into some humidity, put the AC on, cranked it up like Soldier Boy. 7 people in the building. Let's get these people rolling in here, man. Like Jules said, man, best part of the morning. Gregory Lee. Yo, let's go. AllBall TV Nation. Peace, Fabo. You already know, baby. It's Fabian perspective. A wise man named AllBall once said, hey, do what got you over here, man. And I was dropping that catchphrase for the Lawnics. Hey, bro, what's good? Ant, what's going on? I think that's Ant from Queens. I think from Far Rockaway, my dude. What's going on? Let's hit that like button. You already know what's good. Will, part of the AllBall TV family, piece of the chat. AllBall TV. Let's get to it. Oh, Flea's not in the building yet. He might make an appearance. He might be with a wife beater on. Who knows how Flea's gonna jump on here? Hit that like button. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Very important. If you're on a computer PC, that's the only way that I know you can join us. Join the AllBall TV membership, the family. Our guy, trying to get his name from yesterday. He said we can actually get a sponsorship through the Boys and Girls Club and help us go full time and get the ball rolling. Hey, if you guys got any way for us to keep this thing going, you know how it is. It's like PBS with a raw version of PBS, but everything is fundraising by the people. Where's AllBall? He talking spicy every morning. They'll be in the building soon. He's gonna make an appearance. Everybody has to creep in when they can. And by the way, just for the record, That is AllBall's doppelganger. If on the record, that is AllBall's doppelganger. You're not gonna catch us out here in these streets. That's all I gotta say about that. He should be here with us shortly. You see the thumbnail. I was doing some investigating. I was doing some investigations, my peoples. And we talk about Jalen Brunson a great deal, a big deal. The Villanova Knicks, a big deal. But shout out to Dreamers Pro. He put me on to Front Office Sports, and they had a really interesting article. How an extremely rare contract created the Villanova Knicks by Alex Schiffer. It goes into detail about Josh Hart's extension with the Pelicans. Came with a player and team option. Have you ever heard of a player and team option in the same contract? I don't know if this is the first one. I've never heard about it before. These are the things we're going to learn more about since we have an agent as a general manager. But this contract was actually written and signed and created while Josh Hart was with the Pelicans. So as I'm reading it, I'm like, yo, we give a lot of credit to a lot of people. Leon Rose, Tom Thibodeau, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and Josh Hart. We fall in love with him as a player. He's just done so many great things for us. He's won our hearts over. We call him the new John Starks. For all you guys who weren't 90s Knicks fans, Josh Hart is the one that makes us feel like it's the 90s again, more than any other Knick. Brunson brings, of course, the point guard play that we really never had in New York City since the 70s, since before our time, if we're being real. He reminds us of us too. Like, we love that New York guard play in New York. He embodies that. But Josh Hart is like the heart, right? Pun intended. The Knicks traded for Hart in the last year of his deal before extending him last year. So let's get into this. In 2021, Hart was a Pelicans restricted free agent after coming to New Orleans from the Lakers in the Anthony Davis trade. He signed a 3-year, $38 million extension that summer that raised eyebrows when it was first reported. Other agents and team people, it was a mix of people saying, this is really interesting. How did this happen? Dave Spahn, one of Hart's 3 agents at CAA, told Front Office Sports. That was one side. And the other side was, what the hell is that? What a terrible deal. This is the deal that they created and they helped create at CAA, right? The agent signed up for that. It's not like they didn't know about it. It's not like Leon Rose didn't know about it. They all knew about it. Right? And this is when it gets interesting. The NBA was fresh off a 72-game truncated season after finishing the prior one in Orlando in the bubble. After COVID and everything, the salary cap was flat. It was August, and Hart remained unsigned 3 weeks into free agency with only so many roster spots remaining and so much cap space left to work with. Hart and the Pelicans wound up agreeing to a 3-year, $38 million extension that came with multiple caveats. For starters, only $12 million was guaranteed all in the first year. So Josh Hart signs a 3-year contract worth $38 million and only 13 million is guaranteed. 13 million is guaranteed. That in itself is crazy. The second year was non-guaranteed for $13 million, essentially functioning as a team option with a deadline of June 25th, 2022. So I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of non-guaranteed when a contract is non-guaranteed after a certain amount of time. Currently, the Knicks they're doing that with Bogey. Bogey's contract, I believe, is guaranteed for, like, let's say $2 million if he's traded before the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. We'll look that up in a second. And last season, Chris Paul Chris Paul's contract was worth like 15 million or something like that. If he was signed past the July 15th or whatever it was. So they traded him to the Wizards. And that's why he was a big deal. It was a big deal for him to go to the Warriors because it's kind of like once you have that sort of money non-guaranteed, it gives some power back to the team, and then there's leverage there, and you can work with the contract. You can trade him, especially being late in his career. But this is a guy first 4 years in the league, and he has a non-guaranteed money in front of him. And we know with basketball, the biggest thing about basketball is everything being guaranteed. That's all we ever talk about is how much guaranteed money there is in basketball, right? And with Josh Hart, he's dealing with a time period where I only got $12 million out of my $38 million guaranteed in an extension with the Pelicans. The Pelicans, by the way. The Pelicans. How dare you guys? The second year was non-guaranteed for $13 million, essentially functioning as a team option with the deadline of June 25th, 2022. And the final year was a player option, allowing Hart to decide whether he wanted to become an unrestricted free agent a year early. Hart himself called the deal a low point that signified that the Pelicans don't want me. He told Taylor Rooks this summer that the contract made him play with a mentality of just F you. I'm worth more than this. The more you study these players, especially a guy like Josh Hart, what the hell makes him play 48 minutes in the game, right? Like you hear about Michael Jordan all the time. He has that mentality and a winning mentality. Josh Hart, don't you rarely get that feeling about him, or that, not the feeling, but we know he's a winner. We know Jalen Brunson's a winner. These guys haven't won a thing in the NBA, but because people throw championships out there, they make it seem like that's the only way to be a winner. Things like this, or situations like this for a player like this are ingredients to make him like ignite. And I wonder what if the $38 million was guaranteed? What if the $38 million was guaranteed for Josh Hart? Do you still think he plays that way? I do. I just think he's a nutcase in his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be kind of crazy. He has a football player's mentality, right? So does Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle a little bit. Yeah, Julius Randle does too. He's crazy. Football players, that was a thing that gets overlooked also. Like, I know last week it was there was an argument, Austin Rivers and Steven Jackson, who, you know, he kind of like, come on, man, Steven Jackson does way too much. But Austin Rivers threw it out there. There are many more NBA players who can play in the NFL than NFL players who can play basketball professionally. And from the eye test, yeah, he's right about that. Because especially in this era with the athletes in basketball, right? Why can't anyone more players from the NBA go play wide receiver, tight end, defensive end, free safety, the skill position, right? The ones that there are more of in this era in football. The difference, though, between a basketball player and a football player is not just skill, not at all. And football is the one. That's why Flea, if Flea gets to jump on, he'll tell you I compare everything to football, everything. And this is part of the reason why. And wrestling. Even with wrestling, imagine you have to wrestle 365 days out of the year. That takes a certain mentality. Like, I'm not going to get paid all the time. The money's not guaranteed, right? In order for you to be a basketball player, to go play football, you got to be a lunatic. You have to be crazy. We don't want to get in depth into the whole, I can talk about that, the criminal side of it, where, these people are nuts, bro. Like, I don't think we understand enough, or we emphasize enough, which is intentional. Football's the biggest sport, right? But they're intentionally not speaking about the CTE and the concussions and stuff like that, because they don't want to turn people off. They don't want to turn moms off from playing American football anymore, right? But what would help have these kids even going into that? Because I don't care where you're from, you still got to be psycho to go into that. They always said, there was an old saying, you can always tell what the poorest country in the world is by pointing to the heavyweight champion. You see a lot of like Eastern Europeans in the UFC. They're from the poorest countries. What is the mentality like? Right? Like the rich mans that play like they're broke still. Imagine if Brunson pulled up to the basketball court right now. He's going to be so competitive that he's going to try to bust your ass so that you go back home and you tell your family, Jalen Brunson doesn't care about you. He will bust your ass even if you have regular basketball shorts. You got the Olas, whatever. He killed me with sandals on. They just have that mentality. And this is spelling out Josh Hart's mentality, man. I think, going back to the article, I think as in a lot of cases in life, innovation is usually part of necessity. That Spawn says. We look around and we're like, how can we figure out a creative way to get him to free agency quicker? Because we feel like this deal is just under market for Josh, but we didn't have a ton of options at the time to get him more money. The way I look at it, this is if you can't get the number as an agent that you want for your guy, just try to get him to free agency quicker. Wow. That's big time. That's a risk. That's a big time risk. I remember like a funny deal with, remember Carlos Boozer was on the Cleveland Cavaliers? And he signed and reneged the deal with the Cavs, and he ended up going signing with the Utah Jazz after that. Like, and he played 2 years with the Cavs, 2 or 3 seasons, opted out early, bet on himself. Josh Hart bet on himself. He wasn't the Carlos Boozer type coming out of high school, coming out of college. Boozer came out of Duke, was I think way more touted than Josh Hart, even though Josh Hart was drafted 10th. I think Boozer could have been drafted by the Lakers. I think he was drafted late in the first round. But my point is, he had more guaranteed money there, especially with they knew they needed him. And Josh Hart wasn't that per se. Look, he got traded from the Lakers to the Pelicans, and then all of a sudden now he's sitting here with non-guaranteed money. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Uh-oh. It's a bird. It's a plane. Not at all. It's all ball. He's in the mix, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. What's good, fellas?
What's going on,
And women, if you in the building.
ladies? Hopefully, you've ironed out your tennis boots and wash your spandex pants. So, AllBall, we're getting into how Josh Hart, how he created the Villanova Knicks. He was in New Orleans with basically a non-guaranteed contract. They signed a 3-year deal with $38 million, and only the first year was guaranteed for $12 million. The second year was non-guaranteed, leaving $26 million on the books, and everything was up to the Pelicans' hands. So we're up to the part where his agent, Alan Spahn from CAA, he's saying that the way I look at this, if you can't get the number as an agent that you want for your guy, just try to get him into free agency quicker. So they figured out a way to say, yo, let's put not only a team option, not only a player option, but let's get both of them in there. That way the team is under pressure and we're under pressure to get our guy into free agency. NBA contract. I'm sorry. NBA contracts tend to have either a player or team option, usually in the final year of the deal. Rookie contracts end with 2 team options back to back. Hart's contract essentially had one of each stacked up to the other, which is relatively unheard of. It's a unique contract according to Bobby Marks. He was the general manager of the Nets, and he's the current front office insider for ESPN. I would say the player having an option, a non-guaranteed in the second year, and then basically dual player option with a non-guaranteed date is extremely, extremely rare. This is Josh Hart. He definitely told Reggie Miller, F you. Now, this past June is when that 3rd year kicked in. This is when it really turns up for us, for the New York Knicks. This is when, remember, he went to the Portland Trail Blazers. He went to the Blazers because the Blazers were trying to create cap space to re-sign Dame Lillard and to surround their team with Dame Lillard and Anthony Simons at the time. So they traded away McCollum, and McCollum's big contract. So this past June, though, Josh Hart opted into the final year of his original Pelicans extension, a player option at almost $13 million. That allowed New York the financial flexibility to sign another former Villanova teammate, Dante DiVincenzo, to a 4-year, $47 million deal. DiVincenzo too has become another playoff hero this spring, obviously with his clutch shots against the Sixers and the Pacers. And Bobby Marks from ESPN, he also says this: if he were to become a free agent and sign that extension, where that extension is right now at about $18 million next year, I don't know if New York would have been able to sign Dante. As far as where they are, where they were with the hard cap and everything. So it was kind of, hey, if you opt into this, we'll take care of you next year. You basically have to kind of sit in a little bit and of a holding pattern here. So all of this 3-year deal, which I've never heard of until this year, that I didn't realize that Josh Hart signed that, even though the news was there last season in the summertime. We got DiVincenzo and how, we signed Josh Hart. I didn't realize that the second year was non-guaranteed. There was a player option and a team option, and it was very rare. So all these things combined, we were able to get Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, and obviously team them up with Jalen Brunson and have the Villanova Knicks. So this was just, it was dope to read, and I wanted to share with everybody today this morning. Oh, Ball, how are you feeling today?
Hey, man, a little tired from that debacle last night. But, anytime I could get up in the morning and talk some Knicks, that brightens my day. Just happy to see another day, man. But, yeah, just a little tired, a little aggravated. Because it's like, come on, man, we getting these playoffs and these finals and this blowout, and it's just out of control. But overall, I'm okay.
The people want to hear from AllBall. Salute my guy, AllBall.
Oh man, hold on, just quick. We in the building, baby.
By the way, on the record, I've already stated, AllBall, that is not AllBall. That is AllBall's doppelganger. AllBall, he makes his appearance for real at 7:30 at night.
Yes,
curly hair, we use AI to our advantage.
Well, listen, man, that article you read, man, that was ill because I didn't know none of that. And, we learn something new every day. And it's crazy how for years we thought all NBA contracts was guaranteed. And I think some people may owe what's the football player's name? Brandon Marshall. Some people may owe Brandon Marshall an apology because if I'm not mistaken, when he was on that show, I think it was The Pivot, when it was all of them before they all split up.
Right.
I remember he was saying
athlete.
Right, I am athlete. And I remember he was arguing with a lot of them guys saying that all NBA contracts isn't guaranteed. And it was a big thing. So yeah, man, that's ill that Josh Hart was able to do all that. Remember, he bet on himself. And a lot of teams right now is regretting that. And it goes to show you a lot of these GMs, a lot of these coaches, they don't know basketball how we think they do, because how do you let a Josh Hart go now that you've seen what he's doing with the Knicks? Like, come on, man, what he's doing is spectacular. It's damn near Terminator-like, Cyborg-like. We call Kawhi Leonard the Cyborg, but what Josh Hart is doing just as far as availability and just the effort on the court, come on, man, he's 6'3", 6'4", maybe, playing like he's 6'9", 6'10". Smallest guard, I think he's the best rebounder by far. Offensive rebounder by far. So, yeah, man, that's ill that that contract was like that. But look what it did. And then, they got one more piece to the puzzle. And I think they working on that. They are all too close to not be talking, to not be telling Mikal Bridges, bruh, it's popping over here. Do whatever you got to do. Let's get you over here, bro. So, yeah, I think Josh Hart is the key to all of this. I think Josh Hart is the key to Brunson and DiVincenzo. And also the key to, because like I told you, I think now the Knicks have their core. To me, that's the core. With OG, that's the core. No disrespect to Randall, but you're not the core no more. That is the core. And it's nowhere in the world you not telling me they not let Mikal Bridges know, bruh, get over here. And if we win a championship, remember, that'll never be done. We won together as the champion in college and in the NBA. I don't think that's ever been done. So, yeah, big shout out to Josh Hart, man. Listen, man, young man doing great things, man. Great things.
Damn, you brought up two great points. First of all, you brought up Kawhi Leonard. This is the total opposite mentality of that, right? And regardless, because we ain't gonna take it too far with his injuries. We don't know, but at the same time, we got a guy who really bet on himself with a non-guaranteed contract, regardless of the fact, regardless if it's a conspiracy or whatever. He still signed on the dotted line, man. He did that. So, like you saying, Will, the Josh Hart mentality, the Josh Hart mentality is the reason why we will win a chip in New York. Those type of guys, dogs, and the other point you made was that's the sales pitch for Mikal Bridges. You are absolutely right. Like, we always talk about legacy, legends, and I hope everybody that's getting caught up in the internet era, because that's what it is too. A lot of this stuff in the internet era, people want to be seen right now. They want the instant gratification, but the real story is these things are created in the background, created through hard work, sacrifice, and the fact that a core like this, winning in college and then doing it again in the professional leagues, nah, that it's never been done before. We've seen the Fab Five kind of reunite with the Wizards, the formerly the Bullets back then, right? With Juwan Howard and Chris Webber.
Yeah,
But again, they didn't win.
But remember, but it wasn't. Remember, it's different. So just imagine the Fab Five, and then just imagine remember, they didn't win a title in college, right? But still, just imagine them reuniting together on the NBA team with Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard, Chris Webber, Jackson. That's a different ball game. Remember, it was only two of them. We talking, imagine if you get all four of them, Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart, and Bridges, and they come and win a title in New York. That's never been done.
At all. The championship mentality. Speaking of the championship, ball. I know you said it. You're aggravated. He's already huffing and puffing.
Man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm stuttering because I'm flabbergasted and I'm annoyed. Kyrie Irving, you got us looking crazy out here. Straight up. We ready to anoint you. We all, with the greatest skill set, this and that. No, you get smoked like everybody else when they play bad. Yo, y'all was down 30. These are the finals, man. These are the finals. Like, nah, man. Nah, I'm very disappointed. I'm gonna be honest. It's looking like Dallas ain't got a chance.
Wow.
Listen, and I said this all season, and people was laughing at me. Porzingis is the most important player on that team. With Porzingis, it makes them unstoppable. Bruh, they was fouling him. He wasn't getting calls. He hits the mid-range. He hits the three. And the way he can contest shots last night, unless Kyrie and Luka is going to average 30 apiece, they might get swept. So I'm going to say it again. They have to average at least 30 apiece. Those role players are irrelevant right now. Them role players can't do nothing with Al Horford in them. Yeah, that was bad last night. That was bad.
They're saying Kyrie Irving is 0-11 since he stepped on Lucky, the logo, in the playoffs. Remember they got swept by the Celtics, and now they lost. Kyrie Irving is now 0-11 against the Celtics since the series where he stomped on Lucky the logo. The curse continues. Just against the Celtics, period. He hasn't beaten them. So, and they have a tough team, and there's a lot of history with them, and I definitely.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just cut you off. I'm so sorry. We ain't gonna try to spin that narrative. I don't care about none of that. That Boston Celtics team. It's hard for me to root for Boston because I'm a diehard Knicks fan. But we got to call a spade a spade. They are the best team in the NBA. They have the best roster in the NBA. Dallas is not a bad matchup for them. Why our Knicks was going to be a bad matchup, fully healthy, is because we're tough. We don't give up. We play hard. Boston is a finesse team. Them guys don't want no smoke. Jaylen Brown may want a little smoke. Drew Holiday ain't ducking no smoke, but all them other guys is finesse guys. So when you have a Hart, a Mitch, a Hartenstein banging with them dudes, when you got Brunson putting them guys in the post, when you got DiVincenzo playing tough D, barking back at you, that's what would have made that series tough for Boston. But from a talent aspect, they have the best roster in the NBA by far. And last night, Dallas looked like they didn't belong in the finals. They looked like the team that everybody thought they was throughout the season. Yeah, Luka got it going, but still, this has been my problem with Luka. Yeah, he's gonna always get his, but this is the finals now, bro. This ain't about you getting yours. This is about winning. This is about winning. So for me, you know, we forgot how tough Drew Holiday is. I owe him an apology, because we talk about all these point guards year after year, and this guy plays both ends of the floor, and he's a nightmare on defense for guards. And the job he did last night, that's the first time I seen Kyrie look confused. It's times he got the ball dribbled off his foot, losing the ball. I'm like, what the hell? And remember, Derek White and Drew Holiday are the best guards as far as defense. So listen, man, if that, I expect, okay, if you lose 2 games in Boston, fine. But it's how you lose. Once again, Porzingis makes Boston one of the most dangerous teams in NBA history. Simple. Because of what he can bring to the table. So yeah, I'm annoyed because you shouldn't never be down 30 in a finals game when you have Kyrie and Luka on your team. I'm sorry. So yes, Fade. Yes, everybody in the building, all our people. I'm very annoyed.
I thought I would have been the biggest critic of Luka, but I just can't blame him for last night. Like, Kyrie was missing layups, and Boston was almost saying, "Hey, Luka, all right, now let's feed into your flaws." Remember, the James Harden comparison that we had with him is legit. Yes, you can pass the ball. James Harden was a hell of a passer himself, but that's really out of 30,000 dribbles, and then you do the trapdoor pass.
Right.
That pass has to get going earlier on, because come on now, we're talking about it's 5 pretty good defenders at least on the court at a time. Porzingis in his heyday with the Knicks, that's why I was so excited when we had him on the team, because defensively we were a different team with him there. Granted, he's had surgeries and he's gotten injured since then, but now if he's your 4th or 5th best defender on the team, that's a great problem to have if it is a problem. I just think they said, you know what, Luka, we're gonna make you pass the rock. Somebody else gotta beat us. Who are you gonna find? Who are you gonna find to really help you contribute and get some energy going, especially in Boston? Because we could easily, point to Kyrie with the fact that, remember, 2 seasons ago when Golden State was in the finals, that Boston crowd really must be doing something to people, man. It got to be intimidating, because even Draymond admitted to being shook, so shook that he was out of his element, and that's the big bad wolf. So we can only imagine Kyrie was out there a little bit, he wasn't himself. I don't like the fact that he said, I expected the crowd to be a little bit louder, whatever it was. Like, bro, just take your L and keep it pushing.
Exactly.
Talk about nothing. Like what we saw out there, like to your point, Drew Holiday, even when he was guarding Luka looked intimidated by Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday makes everyone think before they take a dribble. And the worst thing you could do or be in basketball, in my opinion, is if the defense is kind of playing offense now, where they're making you think, you're no longer playing offense. They are on the defensive end. That's kind of crazy. And Drew Holiday, he's always up and down with his offensive game. The corners this year, JJ Redick spoke to it again. He's been money and probably the best.
Yeah, talk about from that corner 3, right?
Man.
Yeah. But remember, I'm sorry, go ahead. You can finish, go ahead.
No, that was pretty much it. Go ahead.
Oh, see, remember with Drew Holiday, I really don't worry about him on offense, because he's not there for that. And he's on a team where they have enough offense. But he can knock down shots and get it going. But remember, in sports, especially basketball, nobody wants to play defense. So imagine a guy that's guarding you and he wants to play defense. And that's Drew Holiday. Like, I picked Dallas because I'm a Knicks fan and I can't root for Boston. But if and this is why I thought Minnesota would beat Dallas, because I think they had the better roster. Boston by far has the better roster. Like I told people with Dallas, after you go Kyrie and Luka, that roster is regular. Boston, their whole starting five can be starters on any team. Drew Holiday could start for any team as the point guard. Tatum and Brown can start for any team at their position. Porzingis, he's a starting center on any team. So listen, man, the job that Brad Stevens did over there in that front office, I think this is the year they're gonna get it done. Now I'm not gonna jump out the window. I still got to go, with my pick because it's only one game. But there's no way in the world that Dallas could go Sunday into Boston and lose like that. Now, I knew Boston was going to win game one. My guy texted me, he gambled, who you think? I said, pick Boston. It's at home. They got all the rest. Porzingis coming back. That crowd going to be crazy. So, I expected that. But I didn't expect them to be down 30. And then when Dallas came back and was down 8, I said, uh-oh, it's about to go down. And then Boston went on a 14-0 run. I'm like, what the? So, and then this is where experience plays a part. Dallas has all those young guys that ain't never experienced this, including Luka. Even though Luka had 30, a lot of bad shots, a lot of tough threes, a lot of bricks.
And where was that? And where was that experience from Kyrie?
Exactly. So for me, Luka, but I'm not blaming Luka. I'm just saying Luka's the best player. He's the leader. He has to understand this is the finals and you're playing against a team that what usually works for you, that ain't working over here. You're not going to get away with that over here. It's too much at stake. Take smart shots, take your time, take efficient shots. I've seen them force up too many bricks. And Kyrie, get it together, bro. Get it together. You and Luka got to average 30. Simple and plain. If Luka and Kyrie don't average 30, they will get swept. They will get swept. They will get swept. And if they get swept, all this talk we talked about Luka and Kyrie is over. There's no more talks about them. They better get it together. J-Kid, get it together, man.
And you would figure, again, with the high IQ guys, we didn't see, PJ Washington. He helped them out a lot. I didn't like that Jason Kidd left Derek Lively in the game with 3 fouls in the third quarter. I didn't like that. I understand that, the plus minus is horrendous with when Gafford comes into the game. But now with PJ Washington that came with the trade along with Gafford to the Dallas Mavericks, it's like, who's going to help out, to your point? Who is the third best player? We even seen a Tim Hardaway Jr. sighting out there, and he fell out of the rotation. So clearly Jason Kidd was, trying to figure it out, trying to get desperate. But that was a major mistake for me, because if you were going to come back, you had to leave Derek Lively in there with 3 fouls going into the fourth quarter. That way he could be ultra aggressive as the rookie. Let him make his mistakes, because you're in the fourth quarter, 3 fouls. Now I got 3 more to go. But you need me to do something in this fourth quarter. We had it down to 8. Let's figure this out. Call a timeout. Do something to regroup, because even though they got it down to 8, it didn't feel like they were in a rhythm. It felt like they were trying to figure it out. Luka with the step backs, he was trying though. Like he tried to get an and one on Drew Holiday. He really was trying, going to the basket. He wasn't settling. I don't think Luka was settling at all. I just feel like the Boston Celtics, they have the defense, to your point, to funnel the Mavericks into, hey, Luka, go play one-on-one even more. And again, by the time you get the ball out, you're gonna have no rhythm. And Kyrie, we got 2 guys on this defense. If we're on him, they're gonna really get him out of his rhythm. Steve Jones, I love Steve Jones. JJ Redick, I love the fact that JJ Redick put Steve Jones on there, always breaking stuff down. The way he put it was, Drew Holiday keeps making Kyrie go to his side. And I guess it's kind of like away from whatever he wants to do. And you just hit something on a nail. That's beautifully said. It's different when you got a guy that wants to play defense. Since we know for a fact nobody wants to play defense, and it's for a reason. This guy is like Kyrie on defense in terms of just the skills on the defensive end and then wanting to embarrass you on the defensive end. He's like, come on, 6'4", and there was a comparison between him and Gary Payton. Do you think at this point we can consider Jrue Holiday a better defender all time than Gary Payton?
Wow, that's a great comparison. Wow, because they call GP the glove, man. Like,
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough. If Jrue Holiday gets this championship and holds Kyrie to averaging under 20, we might have to say he's better than Gary Payton for the fact that people hold Kyrie in such high regard. Yeah, that's a great comparison. He's right there, though. He's right there, man. He's right there. But we have to start giving this young man props. He stays out of trouble. He's a professional. He's a leader. And listen, man, he's one of the rare guys that wants to play defense and takes it serious. So yeah, Jrue Holiday, man, that's crazy how Milwaukee just gave him up like that. Wow,
insane. It's
wow.
like, you changed the identity of your team with that guy,
and then you let him go to Boston.
Yeah,
Like what?
like
Lord
because
have mercy.
he was. It's not like he's going to Portland. You gotta know, that Bucks organization.
Yeah, they backwards, man. Lord have mercy, they backwards. They backwards.
You got an MVP. Or let's run through it. Joker, Embiid, Tatum, Luka, Brunson, Giannis. Giannis is the only guy. He has the worst front office out of all MVP candidates.
I agree.
After you traded your identity away.
I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Giannis, which I know he's unhappy right now, we hear the rumors, but I remember I've been said that in the beginning of the season. I said once the playoffs start, well, not in the beginning of the season. Let me slow down. Maybe like a week or two before the playoffs started, when we kind of knew who was going to play who, I was like, yo, there's going to be a lot of players upset because a lot of these matchups, you would expect to be in the conference finals. So if Giannis plays Boston in the conference finals and lose, that's not bad. But if you play a la Indiana in the first round and lose, you look crazy in the streets. If I'm Giannis and Jrue Holiday wins a second championship with the Boston Celtics, and we start saying he's probably the best defender at the guard position all time, get me out of here. I don't want to have nothing to do with Milwaukee ever in life. And I might say that's the reason why I left when they asked me, because they got rid of my Robin. Straight up, for no apparent reason. So
Even though he was the one putting pressure on them and everything, if he's a part of pushing them to get rid of Holiday, remember he was texting Dame Lillard back and forth. It's still up to the front office to lead the way.
But man, listen, you got to pull a Allen Iverson. You got to find a way to keep Jrue and push Dame to the 2. Or unless Giannis, like you said, that was your mistake. That was your mistake. Because like I said, now, y'all looking crazy out there. And once again, y'all telling me the guy I won with is about to win with Boston and potentially become the greatest guard as far as defense all time, up there with Gary Payton. That's who we gave away? No. If I'm Giannis, get me out of here. Get me out of here. But once again, if he has something to do with that, then all bets is off. But if he wasn't banking on that, no. Or at least send him somewhere where it ain't gonna be in the East where we gotta compete against them. Nah, Milwaukee's looking terrible at this point. Giannis ain't looking too good neither at this point with that move. I'm sorry. So But just to bring it back, yeah, Drew Holiday deserves, listen, man, a lot of praise. A lot of praise. When we talk about these point guards and we bringing up the Currys and, you know, the John Morants, the SGAs, the Luka, the Kyries, the Brunsons, you know, we go on and on. This guy doesn't get mentioned. When we bring up top 10 guards, you know, some people bring him up, but he can be arguably top 5 point guard in the league. He doesn't have to average 30, but what he brings every night, both ends of the floor, nah, man. Nah, at this point, listen, you may have to take him over a Dame Lillard, over a Trae Young. Because look what he brings to the table. He changes the whole dynamic. He defends. Listen, man, Dallas is in trouble. Watching that game yesterday, and this is what I don't want to happen, Fade. We're not going to let Luka average 30, get swept, and we still praise him. Bro, you had 30 and was down 30. Miss me with that. Hold on. Let me say that again before you respond. You didn't have 30 in a close game. Y'all was down 30. And then wound up losing by what? Double figures. They got to get better. Him and Kyrie, you got to average 30 plus. Got to be efficient. Got to get those other guys involved. They got to take over, or they will get swept.
Good morning, Danny. Again, I think it's how you go out. If I'm Luka, y'all got 2 minutes at most next game at the Garden, at TD Bank, whatever this thing is called. To your point, Mr. McCormick, the TD Garden was dead last night. Imagine the Knicks playing at home.
I got to correct you. Don't ever make that mistake calling Boston the Garden. There's only one the Garden. You call that thing Boston Garden. That is not the Garden. Don't ever do that again, man. You may proceed, my brother.
I'm sorry. You're right, aficionado. Yikes. Mr. McCormick, the TD Garden was dead last night. Imagine the Knicks playing at home, blowing out a team in the championship game, and the crowd is dead. I don't think they were dead because, for me, I think they had Kyrie shook. All the tweets they were in his brain. Springfield Garden. Yeah, Springfield Garden. Yo, I love y'all, man, because you guys be right in the mix, going crazy with us, too. I do think, though, what adjustments can be made, because I think it's easy narrative to say, yo, Kyrie got to step up, Luka got to step up. But to your point, if you do get swept, if it is a sweep, no matter how you go out, Luka Doncic got to go out crazy. Luka Doncic got to go out going for 40. Y'all ain't gonna be over here doing this. Nah, I'm not going out like that. I don't want that narrative on my back. I'm not soft. I show up to every ball game. I talk to the crowd. I'm competitive as hell. I'm going for 40. Kyrie, if you don't know what to do with this, I don't know what's going on with you. Let me take this game over and we'll figure it out from there. Because I gotta put pressure on this defense. I gotta put Drew Holiday in foul trouble. I gotta put somebody in foul trouble. They're giving me the calls. Remember, Kyrie is tough for him to get foul calls. Luka, they give you foul calls all day. You gotta take advantage of that. What do you think the Dallas Mavericks can do to adjust and maybe put more pressure to avoid a damn sweep? Because it's looking bad out here.
They gotta defend. You're never gonna win a game when you have all 5 starters and probably a guy coming off the bench in double figures. Brown and Porzingis had 20. I think Tatum had 17 or something. So you have to defend. Lively and them young guys, PJ Washington, they got to put some bodies. One thing I realized with Boston, Tatum and Brown can go for 30 apiece. You can't let Porzingis get 20. You can't let Al Horford get 12. You can't let Derek White get 15. You understand what I'm saying? You got to defend. You got to defend. And Kyrie has to step up. We need the Kyrie that everybody praises. Simple and plain. We need that guy that has the best skill set, the player that we never seen ever. They got to step it up. But they have to defend. If you don't defend.
One second, AllBall. I'm sorry to cut you off, but you know this is worth it. TD Garden may not have been alive, but we know who is. Are we live?
My man.
Big Flea, never the little one. What's good, y'all?
I hear the energy already.
What's
Talk to
good?
me, baby.
Yo, Flea must get, I don't know what's in that Houston air, but he must get some, because we be mad cool over here in New York. We trying to, get it together.
Y'all
I know
too
we get up
y'all too
early.
cool.
Flea
Yeah.
like
Y'all
a
too cool.
Flea like a football player. He taking them salt packs in the morning. Them drinks you snip them salt and maniac.
Good energy this morning. Good morning, brothers.
What's good? What's good? Listen, Flea, man.
What up?
I got about 7 minutes. I need to hear your opinion on the game last night.
Last night, good way to open the NBA Finals. I don't overreact to stuff. I thought it was I expected a better game, but for me, Boston hit shots, Dallas didn't. I don't think Boston did anything out of the ordinary that that affected Dallas. They a bunch of shots. They played well together. Like there was no Jason Tatum, this is my turn. Jaylen Brown, this is my turn. Everybody got to touch the basketball. They shared the ball. They got KP rolling. I thought that was important. If you get him going, if you get him comfortable, now that's your X factor. But like defensively wise, I was getting together, and I hear the praising of Drew Holiday. Drew played well defensively last night, but I went back. I was up late last night. I damn near rewatched the game just to see if I missed stuff. And Kyrie got all the same looks he always gets. He just missed shots. Boston better pray Sunday they don't come out and both of them have 40. Like they better pray that Kyrie don't take this personal. As soon as that game was over, Kyrie was headed to Jersey to get in the gym last night. He might still be there. Like everybody, I hear you, AllBall. I hear you, OG, but he will be fine. Trust me. That 6 for 19 is not going to happen again.
Flea, listen, I respect everything you said. You was dead on. Dallas better pray Jason Tatum don't be aggressive. Listen, man.
He's not. They did this. So did y'all watch that third quarter?
Yeah, if Jason Tatum can be who everybody says he is, Dallas has no chance.
Nah.
But he lets people off the hook every night. Every night. Yo, the shots he takes at 6'9", 6'10", I don't understand. I really don't understand.
Awful shot selections.
I really don't understand. If Boston is smart and as good as they supposed to be, and Jason Tatum is this MVP candidate, superstar, next face of the league, and how everybody say he don't get the props he deserves, Dallas won't have a chance. But him not being aggressive and playing how he plays, that's what's going to give Dallas a chance. But Flea, Dallas better be careful. We said that up here. Kyrie and Luka going to have to average 30 plus for them to have a chance.
Boston can't do what they did yesterday. That game was an 8-point game with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. If y'all think that if they're gonna be able to do that again, I don't think so. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think so. I just don't think so. I don't think Kyrie shoots like that again on back-to-back games. I thought the moment was a little too big for a couple of guys on that Dallas team. Derek Lively at one point had 0 points and 5 fouls and played 12 minutes. Like he just looked like a deer in the headlights. He looked out of position every time I turned around. He was making stupid fouls. Not the fouls that you expect from a big, hedging now, being aggressive, trying to get on the boards, all of that. He was making stupid fouls. I thought Kid was awful last night on interchanging him and Gafford. I was screaming at the screen, where's Gafford? Where's Gafford? He's not playing this kid enough tonight. So there's things that Jason Kidd is going, I think, can do better going forward. But I don't. This last night doesn't. If I'm Dallas, I wouldn't be nervous if I'm them. Because last night they let them right back in that game on what Boston regularly does: take their foot off the gas, not be aggressive. Their two best players start falling asleep. Luckily for Jaylen Brown, that third quarter, defending, getting some stops, getting some timely buckets, because Jason Tatum goes to sleep.
Yep.
But I will say this. I'm a critic of Jason Tatum in terms of, and I love how Flea put it. I'm not really criticizing you like that if I don't believe you have GOAT level potential or at least best in the league player potential. And to me, Tatum has that. He hasn't had a good game yet in this series, or the great game yet. Obviously, he's only been one game. But if he does, he puts you in position to win. And it is a game at the Boston Garden, TD Garden, the Springfield Garden, as we're calling it now. But I didn't even think about it like this, because we kept alluding to close games, and they got the two best closers in the game when it comes to close games. But you got to make it close first. Like if they're gonna be games like this, then hell yeah, it's gonna be a sweep. Even in Dallas, you can't beat this.
But what people is forgetting to realize, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they some closers as well. I've seen them knock down big shots at the end of games. Listen, man, of course, Luka and Kyrie, if you're going to compare, who would you rather? Of course, they the better closers, but Tatum and Brown.
Hopefully we get AllBall back in here. But to his point, Tatum's not totally unclutch. We've seen him hit clutch shots. He just tends to settle. And if it's going to be a duel at the end, then it's not like they're up there, top 5 duos in the league, top 3, maybe top 2. Joker and what's his compadre over there? I'm slipping my mind now. Damn, wow.
Murray.
Joker and Jamal Murray, they're probably top 2 is between them. But to close a game out, I mean, Murray's up there. Murray's up there as far as closing is concerned.
He's a closer. I saw something last night that if I'm Dallas, makes me extremely, extremely confident going into game 2. Dallas got smoked game 1 of that Clippers series. Dallas lost a tough one against OKC. So being down 0-1 for this team, in this current playoffs, hasn't been a big deal. They adjust well. Jason Kidd has put on a masterclass in coaching. So I'm not concerned at all. Joe Mazzulla running around here, like the smartest guy in the room, which maybe half the time he is, but he hasn't been put in a position yet where he has to make some adjustments. This playoffs, he has not been tested at all, and I just don't think that when it's time to be tested in terms of adjustments, what you gonna do. Jury's still out on Joe Mazzulla in that regard. I know that Jason Kidd is going to make the right adjustments. I don't know about
high IQ guy. To your point, man, that's overlooked now, right? Jason Kidd has made adjustments. The Minnesota series comes to mind, and the OKC series. He just I can't call it such a big mistake because Lively didn't have any fouls in the first half. He picked up all 5 in the third quarter. All 5. I was surprised he didn't take him out. I said earlier, Flea, after he had to pick up the third foul in the third quarter. Let him earn those other 2 fouls or get those 2 fouls, 2 or 3 fouls in the fourth. That was his only mistake, but they were just off anyway. I didn't see them have any momentum. What do you see that Jason Kidd can possibly do for an adjustment?
I would if I'm him, I don't tell them anything different. I come in and I say, yo, We got all the same looks that we've gotten all playoffs long. Boston did nothing to us that impeded what we were doing. They got all the same looks. They just didn't hit shots. Did you see the shots that Kyrie Irving was missing? Wide open threes, floaters with the left that he wins games with. Like, you know, bank shots. He was missing bank shots. That's his butter, right? He was missing shots that just weren't falling. A 6 for 19 game. Luka only has 1 assist. They don't win like that. That's not their style. They don't win like that. 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist from Luka, and for 19, yeah, you're probably not gonna win that game. You're probably not against Boston. So I don't think there's nothing Jason Kidd. If I'm Jason Kidd, I go in there and say, all right, y'all got that out your system? Everybody all right? All right, let's get to it. In game 2, we go out there and do exactly what we've been doing. They didn't run. They like Luka gets to his, and I think that Boston is going to concede to that. They don't have anybody that's really going to be able to stop him, so they're going to let him get his offensively. But when Luka starts getting everybody involved, when he starts whipping that ball around, when he starts making those passes in the lane and, you know, getting lively in pick and roll, dunking, getting Gafford in pick and roll, dunking, those lob threats, like when he's doing that and hitting the 3 ball, right? Like when he's in that kind of zone, they're tough to beat. So this for me, this looks good for Boston. Again, I don't think they got really tested because the shots weren't falling, but they're playing a real team this time. And we shall see. We shall see. KP was absolutely the X factor last night, though.
To start the game off like that, get him going. Dallas needs that. They need somebody. And you can't, the PJ Washington games earlier in the playoffs, not saying they won't happen. They'll get that from somebody. Tim Hardaway Jr. made an appearance, like I mentioned earlier. Like Luka, or Kyrie. Like I didn't think about it like that either. You're right. Because if Kyrie gets his momentum going, that 8-point lead in the third quarter, it changes. That thing changes. You might get the lead at that when that happens, as the momentum starts shifting towards Dallas, because the Mavericks, in my opinion, there's no real style. There's the offensive identity is a lot of one-on-one play, but it is what it is. And if they got it going, geez Louise, pepper jack cheese. I think, to your point, they have to play towards their game and just play that erratic Dallas Mavericks style of play that got them to this point. I didn't realize that they were ranked the best defense in the league after the trade, probably 2 weeks after the trade and on in the season. I don't want to just stick to the narrative and it has to be Luka, but I think he has to put on an all-time performance. I think he has to put on one of his Luka performances, which I thought he was headed into, but he has to do that from the beginning. He can't allow them to try to figure whatever out. No, I don't care if it's Porzingis or the whole Boston team. They didn't, like you said, the Indiana Pacers led the first 3 games of their series against the Celtics. They led each quarter
in the fourth quarter. Yeah. So I just saw Boston do exactly what they do with all the teams. They punch them in the mouth, get lackadaisical. Big shout out to Clyde Frazier, and and they take their foot off the gas, and I saw that. I didn't, they came back and was able to go on an 11-0 run, and then kind of close the deal in the fourth quarter. But I saw this team climb back in the game. There's no way you allow that team to climb back in the game going forward in this series and think that you're gonna just out-talent them or beat them like that. That's not happening. At least I don't think so.
Gregory Lee watches the game. I love you, Gregory Lee. You be dropping some jewels. Dallas can't do anything defensively to stop Boston. Boston is well balanced. Sure, Dallas has 2 closers, but that's not enough. J. Kidd hides their lack of defense through offense, but remember, they can't keep that up. Boston defense isn't the greatest, but it's enough to neutralize one of them, and the easy option is Luka. For him to do that, Kyrie has to set the table to allow Luka to go off, Fab. But defensively, Boston can scheme and do and more defensively.
I just don't, and that's my thing. I don't think Joe Mazzulla is that good of a coach to scheme to stop both those guys in an entire series. I just don't think so.
Nobody does, right?
I don't think so. This is a different game, Fabian. This is a different game if Kyrie goes 10 for 15. It's a completely different game. Completely different game. I know, we said Drew did a great job. He did do a great job. But then we start questioning if Drew can still guard if Kyrie comes back in game 2 and has an all-time performance. I expect that.
I like what Molly Moore said. Boston didn't allow the backside drives or the weak side kick out. That Kyrie was wide open. I gotta believe Drew Holiday on the defensive end is more disciplined than, let's say, Marcus Smart was when he was there. Yes. That was a scary thing for us when we thought of him going to Boston. I just think that they're a finesse team, and the Mavericks, they got to figure it out. It has to be aggression from their stars, because that is their strength. I just think Luka has to be way more aggressive on the offensive end. To your point, Gregory Lee, if they don't do that, their offense is their defense, because now it puts more pressure on the Boston Celtics and their stars to get going, and you want them to kind of feel like, yo, hold on, I'm not doing enough. You want Jaylen Brown to feel like he's not doing enough and start to play more one-on-one, because they played great, man. They played great sharing the ball too.
Yeah,
that was
beautiful basketball they played last night.
Yeah, of course, that's them at their best, right? Like, don't get me wrong. But I guess I think we both agree, once the Mavericks start getting going, it turns into mano a mano. You start, I mean, you know better than me. Hold on, you getting going now. Give me the ball. I think it's like naturally it turns into that. It turns into a natural competition like that. Or do you agree?
I think that I need to give Tatum some credit. Like, we say he wasn't as aggressive at the points where we needed him to be, but last night's game didn't call for that, right? Last night's game didn't call for that. Game 2 may call for that, because you'll have to counter whatever Dallas is going to be bringing come game 2. So you may have to go for 25 or 30 in game 2. A modest 16 points, right? And we getting everybody else involved. Jaylen Brown, I think, had 22 points. It was real balanced yesterday. You got a lot from KP early. I think that was 18 points in the first half. Like, he had a monster first half. Took advantage of every matchup they threw at him. Every matchup. He has a mismatch in every matchup. So that might be the key. They might need to, be a little more physical with KP. Don't let him get comfortable. Felt like he got comfortable and kind of settled in. Once a guy settles in and knows that he has an advantage on every time he touches the ball, like, that's hard to guard, Fabian. That's hard to guard, especially a guy like that. 7'4", however tall he is. That's hard to guard. So Dallas got their work cut out for them, but if I'm them, I'm not nervous at all.
That's amazing. That's amazing to say, especially with maybe the Celtics. The difference is here, when you got 2 guys like Derek White and Drew Holiday rotating, What do you think that does versus the Mavericks when you got the drive and kick guys like a Kyrie and Luka especially who can pass? But if Drew Holiday's the guy roaming baseline on a rotation, or even on the offensive end, when you have Derek White on the baseline, and maybe Drew Holiday sometimes, or whoever it is on the baseline to allow the corners to open up, and let's say Tatum is driving, because we know Tatum loves to drive and kick, but if he's pulling in the entire defense into the paint, what are you really gonna do against them? Because that's the one thing that probably the Timberwolves didn't have. They didn't have anybody in the corners like that, or maybe they did, and they didn't flush it through. They didn't have a Tatum to drive and kick like that. But that's Tatum's game. He's experienced. Look how many conference finals he's been to. All the pressure he's faced. He's at home. Should they have won by 30? I don't. Maybe, but this changes things. From the Raptors, from the side blocks, the back streets of Queens. Big Turbo in the building.
What up? What up, my brothers? Good morning. You already know the vibes. Yeah.
Big Turbo.
Friday.
Happy
Turbo, what
Friday to you. What's your? Listen, man. For all you guys that don't know, we were rocking with this channel for over a year now. With
like around
AllBall TV,
around like March Madness, last year.
And we will definitely get into the Knicks draft picks in the next couple of weeks, or what we think they should draft. Turbo will be a big help in that because, unlike me, he watches college basketball thoroughly. He's a student of the game like Flea. I'm going to be a student. I'm probably going to be just a student asking questions the entire time. But Turbo, what's your reaction to the game? What'd you see? And what can Dallas do to improve in the next game?
Like Flea said, Boston made shots. Dallas didn't, and I know, and like he said, I think some of them were, very nervous. It's the finals, it's the big stage. Everybody's watching. It's different levels, but like he said, it's only one game. Boston did what they had to do, win 2 games, and then Dallas has to come back at home and do what they got to do. That's how I see it. I'm not one of those types that just overreact, because I know as black people, we overreact to every little single thing. So it's like, gotta chill. I think Boston definitely did what they had to do. Came out fire. They know they don't want the same episode that happened to them 2 years ago. So I think they definitely for the mission.
That's burning them. Yeah, that's a good point. Jaylen Brown sounds the most, at least he vocalizes the most, I don't say frustration, but just the seriousness and the urgency for the Celtics. He's always talking about it like, yo, we learned from before. We want to win this. We hear the things about him too. The same way they talk about Kyrie a little bit. They kind of go with Jaylen Brown. And for me, it's like for no reason.
Imagine ridiculing the guy because he's smart. Imagine ridiculing
That's the problem
because he's smart.
That's the problem.
Like,
and you see, and when he takes the podium, you ask him a question, he ain't fumbling. That's the other part. Whatever happened, whatever his flaws are on the court.
No, Brown is smart. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's like the vice president of the Player Association or something like that.
every blue blood in the country wanted Jaylen Brown to come to their school. Jaylen Brown said, I'm gonna go to Cal. Yeah. I'm gonna be the captain of the chess team. Like that. That's why he almost dropped in the draft, because they were afraid of his intelligence
and his smartness.
Yeah. So, but
has that ever? So far, I've heard 2 crazy reasons why people drop in the draft. They stay in school for 4 years.
Yeah.
They stay in school for 4 years, and he played chess, so we didn't want to draft him. These are 2 crazy reasons for somebody to not be picked higher in an NBA draft. Is it just we're going racial? That's
ego. That's ego.
Yeah,
that's ego. These execs want to be the smartest people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could play basketball better than me. I'll never be able to play like you, but I control the dollars and cents. I control whether you here or not. And they don't want to be Jaylen Brown at one point was representing himself. He didn't even have representation, like no agent. That's how, intelligent this dude is. He took his time to get an agent.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just don't want you to be as informed as them.
Yeah. Just like a lot of people didn't know, Ray Allen was his own agent.
Yeah, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I still don't. I mean, I heard this, but maybe I'm in denial. Right. I heard Brown turned down the Nassau to enter the draft. I think they invited him to go up to Nassau. Marty.
Yeah.
Like, and I just like that. I like the fact that I like when players just vocalize whatever it is and they come to the podium and represent themselves and whatever they're feeling, whatever they stand for is very rare. We always point to the 1960s and 70s with these kind of players. Obviously in the 80s and 90s, the commercialization of the NBA and basketball and everything, it turned into something else. But Jaylen Brown, we wanted him on the Knicks because of that reason. Like, he represents himself. Not just the fact that to me, it's not about speaking well. It's like he sounds like he stands for something. And maybe you guys are right. They don't like that. People don't like that. Authority figures don't like that. But he is in Boston.
That's another
thing.
He's dealt with a lot of it's chronicled. He's dealt with some stuff out there that's racially motivated. I think anybody has. Kyrie has spoken about that when he was in Boston. Like, so any brother playing in the New England area. I went to school in them areas. It's tough out there. It's not a walk in the park. It's not a facade. It's real. It's real thing in Massachusetts, in the New England area. So them athletes, they deal with that type of stuff there.
Look, may he rest in peace. Look what Bill Russell had to go through. If y'all didn't see his documentary, oh my gosh, it would give you chills. You would be like, what?
And those are these people's fathers and grandfathers that were around during Bill Russell's time. So, that's real. Let's get to Gregory Lee with the super chat. Gregory Lee.
Shout out G Lee.
Come on, man. This guy always dropping jewels and just making us keep going. Listen, offense gets the glory and defense will win this series. Plus, Boston's been in 2 finals, 4 conference finals. They got to win. If not, they need to consider breaking these guys up.
Why, Greg? Why? Because I have a trade that I would like Boston to explore, but I'd like to hear why would
I love this.
Why
that's the last segment. Let's get into Boston up 1-0, have another game at home, have a chance to sweep, but let's talk about breaking their asses up at Springfield Garden. Please, let's do it. I love it. Let's get into I was very slow talking, and then all of a sudden the bochinche came up.
Yeah,
El Chismoso, the King Chismoso flee. Tell me
what follows me. You know that follows me everywhere I go.
On the low.
Bochinche.
When you say bochinche, you gotta go.
What I'm telling you?
See, when the Boston Celtics lose in a reverse trade, on a reverse sweep, 1-4, the Dallas Mavericks win 4 in a row. Who are the Boston Celtics trading Jaylen Brown for? Flee.
I was talking last night. I said, who says no? Who says no?
Now, who's taking that $300 million contract?
Plenty teams. Houston calls up and says, "I'll give y'all Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams, Aaron Holiday,
and 2 first-round draft picks, 2 future first-round draft picks for Jaylen Brown. Who gonna say why would Boston say no if they break those 2 up? Why would they say no to that?
Before we answer that, Will
Yeah, they
Latimer, an AllBall TV member, they burned down Robert Parrish's crib. They burned down Robert Parrish's crib, Jaylen Brown. You got to ask for a trade. Flea, what do you think about that? The Houston Rockets offer Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams, and who else?
And I just threw Aaron Holiday in there. So now you get back another ball handler.
That would be something that you would have to look at.
If you get a guy that just gonna go out there and defend, he ain't gonna really look for shots. You get the best screen setter in the game, still under 30. You got to find a way to replace Al. You got to have somebody that can play 65, 70 games because KP is going to be load managed the entire season. So why not look at Steven Adams? Strongest guy in the NBA. Like I said, best screen setter. Why not take a look at him? Like, if you're going to break that thing up, how do you balance it out? And I'm thinking defense, rebounding, ball handling, another guy that could set the table, another knack on the defensive end, small, heady guards. Like that. That's the only way that you're not going to get an all-star back for Jaylen Brown. If you trade him, you're not going to get that back. I just don't see that. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think, but I don't see them getting an all-star level player back if they decide to trade Jaylen Brown.
You have 2 max contracts, one $300 million and another for $250, and they get into these finals and can't get it done. Best record and still can't get it done. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. You know that's how the fans are gonna talk. You still couldn't get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But they was ahead of schedule though. Like they were they were way ahead of schedule.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second right now. 2 can't call Jaylen Brown an MVP, right? But he's a top 20 in anybody's book, right? Top 20 player, Jaylen Brown?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Porzingis is a top 4 pick of all in the draft.
Yeah.
He's a top 40 player. Jrue Holiday is a top 30, 40 player any given night because that defense is second to who? And Anthony Davis and these guys that we've seen in the all defensive team. Is he a better? Does he mean more in the playoffs than Rudy Gobert? Can I get a hell yeah?
Jrue Holiday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He won a chip already. He got a chip already.
Marcus Smart, who I think is a bit overrated, still to be considered to be even in the defensive player of the year conversation, regardless of what I think, he's still going to deserve votes for me.
Yeah, because he's a dog. That's why he's a dog.
Right.
He's gonna hold guys accountable. That's why you like Marcus Smart. Now, if they win this championship with Jrue Holiday, then it looks like okay, they may be trading him.
Wow, look at just to reply to the comment about being ahead of schedule, I don't think they're ahead of schedule. I think anytime you have 2 All-NBA guys, you're not ahead of schedule.
But let me just hold on. Let me just ask though. How my justification of them being ahead of schedule is Jason Tatum walks into the league and he's in the conference finals as a rookie. That's Jaylen Brown's second year.
And Jaylen Brown was in the conference finals the year before when they got him as the 3rd pick. Remember, Boston had the number 1 pick and they suckered Philly to trade up to the number 1 pick and they moved 3rd.
So my point is if they're in the conference finals like as rookies, that's what I mean. They were ahead of schedule. And so now both these guys 25, 6, 7 years old, and it's like, yo, what's up? Y'all been here so many times, get it done. And I just don't think that it always just happens like that. That expectation of, okay, so you've been here before so many times, get it done. Like, get these brothers.
What year was that? 2016?
Brown?
The rookie years.
Brown came in
16 and Tatum is 17.
But 17 was when we went to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played the Cavs that year,
17-18 season.
and that was without
Let's look at
Isaiah
that
Thomas.
roster.
Who what?
That was without Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah was on
He
was
wasn't
on
he
the
wasn't
team,
on that
but he
team
was
yet.
out. He was out with the injury, but they still got to the conference finals because they still had Al Horford. They had Marcus Morris. You still had Marcus Smart was on that team. So yeah, they still, you know.
I mean that season they were number 1 rated defensively.
Yeah.
We say yeah, but that's one a rookie and a second year guy. That's major.
Yeah, but I think that's a testament to Brad Stevens and coaching too.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids was young. So I ain't about to say that.
And he groomed them.
I ain't about to sit here and say that was all of them. Like Brad Stevens did a hell of a job when they was first, second,
again,
third year players.
Now, can we say that Brad Stevens is probably like the second best to come from college to the NBA? Like had success, even though he didn't win the championship, but he still got them to the conference getting them to the conference finals. And rebuild and taking his time rebuilding that team, because you gotta remember when he first came, it took him like 4 years to get it right.
Listen, who's first?
Huh?
Who's first?
I mean, well, you gotta remember Larry Brown had success in college and the pro.
Larry Brown won an NCAA title.
Yeah.
Danny Manning.
Baylor didn't.
What?
No,
he went to Buffalo.
He's from Baylor, right?
He went to
Butler.
Butler, I'm sorry.
They lost. They lost.
They lost to Duke.
Oh, got it. Okay.
They
Lost to Tatum?
Not to Tatum. That wasn't that Tatum team.
No, Tatum wasn't there yet.
That
was like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
That's when Tatum yammed it on LeBron, right? That's that 7-game series. They went 7 games against the Cavs. Yeah. That's without Kyrie, right?
Yeah, Kyrie had surgery during that game. That's the only criticism I had with Kyrie with Boston. Why you going? It's a game 7. You playing against your former team that you want to beat so bad, but you decide to have surgery on game 7. I thought that was a little,
weird.
Little self. Yeah.
I don't think Kyrie played that whole series though.
No, he didn't play. I don't think he played in the playoffs, but still.
Yeah. Well, schedule results, right? Schedule results. Playoff schedule.
I'm going to jump, fellas, and get to it.
Yeah. But by default,
Fabian, I'll holler later.
Are we live?
Paul West had, won the championship with the Lakers, and he never coached in the NBA. He was supposed to have been an assistant with the coach that got into the bike accident, Kenny, and he had to take over, and he wasn't going to come back, so he had to take over, and he won as a rookie coach.
Yeah, Kyrie did not play.
No, he didn't play. But he decided to have surgery and not sitting on the sideline to help you be. Because if there was another team, then okay, I can give you a pass. I can give you a pass. But if you're playing your former team in a game 7 at home, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'll be sitting on the sideline, I'm gonna show you, what they like to run, how to do it, Can you imagine if Boston would have beat Cleveland that year? Oh my goodness!
I mean, they were right there.
Yeah, they were. But I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine what the would have been if that Boston team would have gotten to. Yeah, they probably would have lost. They definitely were going to lose to Golden State.
But that was the year that Gordon Hayward got hurt. He tore his knee in the beginning of the season.
Gordon Hayward came after the fact.
No, he's there. He's inactive.
Oh no. Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah, Gordon Hayward.
I'm not right. basketball references right. I don't have.
Oh no,
You guys have a way
yeah,
better
you're
memory
right.
than
Yeah,
me.
Gordon Hayward was out. Yeah. So
But he was
they were
out from
missing
the
Gordon
season.
Hayward and Kyrie. Yikes.
So that's the reason why Gordon Hayward was on Boston, because he went to Butler. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was his coach. That was his college coach.
Well, Kyrie didn't play. What games did he play this series?
No, he didn't. I don't think he played in the playoffs day. I don't think he played in the playoffs day. I think he got hurt. I think he was hurt in the middle of the season.
Oh, but you're saying why have surgery in game
On a
7?
game 7 on a Sunday. That game was on a Sunday. He had surgery on a Sunday. That's what I'm saying.
You wanted him to be on the court with them on the sideline?
Yeah, if you playing against your former team that you want to beat so bad and you want to be the man, you claim you wanted to be Kobe.
Yo, that's so crazy. That's interesting. Terry Rozier. So this is the lineup: Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, who's a rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terry Rozier and Aaron Bynes. That's crazy. 7-game series. You took the LeBron-led Cavs
And you had
to
Marcus
7
Smart
games.
and Marcus Morris coming off the bench.
Right. Maybe they should have started Marcus Smart. That's the only thing I could think of, but
yeah,
at that point,
he was a starter. He was starting for them. And I think that year he was a free agent. I think that's when he signed with the Knicks. He signed with the Knicks, and then that's when him and Clutch kind of had their falling out.
Who?
Marcus Morris and Clutch. He used to be a Clutch client.
Got it.
But I don't. But I don't think Leon Rose was there at the time, so that's kind of weird how he was upset. How he was upset with Marcus Morris signing with the Knicks, because whatchamacallit wasn't even there yet.
No. Marcus Morris.
Marcus Morris. That's what I'm saying. Not Marcus Morris.
Yeah, not Marcus Smart. Marcus Morris. Remember, they got into a beef. Yeah, no, I didn't know until you said that. Marcus Morris went to the Knicks because the Clutch messed up his contract.
Yeah.
He sued them.
Yeah.
And now that you say that, that was always another reason for the beef, right? He goes to the Knicks. Not Leon Rose, but somebody must have told him, "Yo, man, you sure about that contract?" You know what I'm saying?
Remember, because he was supposed to sign with the Spurs.
Right. For more money or a better deal, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they Clutch did him dirty. In these comments, they're saying, I forgot to tell us to Flea when he was here before we get going. Flea, you will break up if you break them up, you would trade Brown and not Tatum. You get more for Tatum, right?
Yeah.
That's not just John Pettit. That's Gregory Lee saying, I'm trading Tatum because his contract is less and I might be able to fleece someone.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you trade Tatum, you're not.
And plus, he's a free agent.
Right. But see, if you trade Tatum now, you're doing what the Bucks did with Drew Holiday. You trading him, I don't care, even if it's to Portland or wherever it is, to a team, Detroit, where you going to trade him to? And somebody else, no matter where you trade him. If you trade, let's say, Tatum to the Portland Trailblazers, the Knicks are trading 10 draft picks for Jason Tatum, bro. You're not getting, if you're the Celtics, you cannot, what are you going to do? You're going to piss off Jason Tatum. He's going to be on the Portland Trailblazers, and he's going to want to come back. And if we have a chance to get Jason Tatum, forget about it. That's the guy, like we talk about Giannis, guys, in the comments. We talk about Giannis. Jason Tatum is up there. As much criticism as I ever have of him, it doesn't matter. Whether he's your number one or two guy on a night-to-night basis, if you have to trade Randall, you do it. Of course, we'd rather keep Randall, but Tatum with OG Anunoby there.
Mm-hmm. Now that's worth. That's worth trade. If you're gonna trade Randall, he is worth. That's who you would trade for. You gotta trade for a lobster and a dinner steak. If you're gonna you gotta do it right. Can't trade Randall for a ham sandwich. Sorry. You know what I mean?
Right. Not for what he means to us now.
Yeah.
And
And
with the team.
before we get out of here, and I wish Flea and AllBall was still here, but it's all good. They'll probably see the rebroadcast. But when y'all was making good points, I believe that, and we can't be prisoners of the moment because we said it last year. And we keep it 100 here, as you would say. I think you got to bring everybody back, man. We got to give it a chance. Like you said, before the injuries, y'all was 12-2. With that starting five, I think you gotta give it a chance. Gotta give it a chance. Because we said it last year when the Lakers went to the conference finals and they lost. We sat here on this show. We said, "Yo, bring everybody back because they deserve it." So we can't be prisoners of the damn moment, having one way with one team and not the other. Got to be fair, as you would say.
Well, I think after January, yes. After last year, you were flexible because Randall didn't show what he showed this year. Especially what was going to get lost is November, December. He said he changed his mindset. Remember the first 2 weeks we were all going. Everyone went crazy on Randall. Finally, when I was going against Randall the last 7 years,
awful. He was playing awful. He wasn't
right
on defense. Yeah, he was playing on. I was one of those guys like, yo, what is he doing?
Then he turned it up.
Yeah.
He went back to the tape that he learned from, and he saw that was the best way to play. But everything was staggered after Mitchell Robinson went down. Then the OG trade changed everything, and we just saw what the 1-4 flat thing that LeBron gets. Like, people hate when I say this, but Randall is just so. Imagine waking up and you 6'9", 260 pounds. You look like that guy physically. Come on now, please. If I had a wish right now, I'm walking outside like that. I don't even have to play basketball. I'm just walking around like the new Thor, Black Thor out here. But
facts.
That's that 1-4 you get away with. Now Randall gets to dribble as much as he wants to in the paint, and if you crowd him, he's kicking the ball out and realizing, damn, I shouldn't have the ball like that. It's just not great basketball. But yes, John Pettit, I agree. That's who you trade Randall for. I mean, that's like obvious. Not straight up to the Celtics, but if I mean, now we gotta wish for the reverse sweep.
Yeah. But no, I just wanted to get that out because I just feel like it's fair. It's fair to be fair, because we said that about the Lakers need to bring back that team last year because they made it to the conference finals. You don't want to just make crazy moves and then it'll backfire you. But it always backfires the Lakers, so it don't really matter. But to be fair in this conversation, I think the Knicks need to give it a chance. And plus, everybody's damn near injury prone at this damn point. So you might as well, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You gotta take a chance. Damn near everybody's injury prone, from young players to the older players. Why not? You gotta take a chance. That's just me. That's just me. Whether you agree with me or not, but I'm just saying.
No, it's not. It's not just you. It's not. It's like it's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
In our opinion, you watch a lot of basketball. You know a lot of basketball. The fact that you agree with me means a lot. I was the one going crazy when Randall went down. I still thought we had a chance at the championship.
Oh no, you still believe. You still believe. You felt like they were better without Randall. No,
not better. Not better. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. Randall is a poor man's LeBron minus the high IQ and attitude. And even the attitude, it's kind of,
helped him.
He just honed it. Yeah. Less complaining and just honing it in. Yeah. And once you hone it in, the defense can't shake you. And when you're focused like that, it's just different. And Randall being a beast, is a natural beast like that, it changes everything. I'm not saying we're better without Randall, but the OG thing just changed everything. Again, OG can shoot from the corner.
And like you said, and like you guys said, he was the root. He was the root that sets the tree for it to grow. Like when they were bad, he decided to. When nobody else wanted to sign here, no big free agent one, he took a chance and said, "Yo, I'm coming to New York. I'm gonna help us get to the playoffs."
Right,
and he does earn that respect to come back and see what we can do, to see what y'all can do, And if it don't work out, and then if there's a trade, and but you got to give him a chance to see what this five is. Now, if I got a chance to move Mitchell Robinson to get a big that can score, I would do that. I would do that.
especially if they're healthy.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. We were entertaining the what's the guy in Utah, their best player,
Oh, marketing.
Laurie Markkinen. We were entertaining that this week, and it's like, it's great. Is he better offensively than Mitchell Robinson? Yeah. He also misses games like Mitchell Robinson. He played 55 games last year. He never played 70 games. I don't want to trade him for somebody that's not going to be there. John Pettit's asking, when is Tatum's contract up? I'm thinking how Boston is going to pay both Brown and Tatum and put a team around them. Well, Jason Tatum's contract he has a player option in 2 seasons, right? At the 2025-2026 season, right?
Yes, he does.
And the thing is, though, John, I think he's due for an extension. Like they do how they file the extensions early, and they have these Larry Bird rights because he's been there for more than 3 seasons or more, so they can extend them past this. And I think Jaylen Brown was a free agent last year, or he had an option, one of the two.
I think he had an option.
Right, so they extended him, and he put pressure on them to extend them. He has a 15% trade kicker also, Jason Tatum. So that's major. I don't fully understand it all, but look, once you get All NBA, $195 million, so it'll go up 30% if he gets All NBA. I wonder if all this includes that. All right, with the commercials, man. Sport track, we get it. You have 3,000 commercials. So all these things factor in when you trade him, and he's making 34 million. He's gonna make 32 million, 34 and 37. That's gonna go up by 17 and 20 million a year once he gets the extension.
That's why Brown was pissed off that he didn't make any all NBA team, and that's probably why he was playing so angry. That's why I think he's on a mission to win, to show people that I should have been on or any other All NBA team.
Right, because last season he got the All NBA, and that's what got him the trade kicker. Right, that's how he got the 300 million. I forgot about that. Jaylen Brown that was a big deal, which was why I think Zach Lowe said, "I'm not going to be part of this no more." He doesn't even want to vote. Like, shout out to Zach Lowe, man, big Knicks fan, super duper, basketball nerd. But I love, how he breaks the game down, and he's the one that just for you talk about commendable. All these other loudmouths that give their opinions and never would have the balls like Zach Lowe to say, you know what? Yo, I don't even want that vote. I don't want to be responsible for a guy losing $100 million, bro. I want nothing to do with that. Just shout. I'm gonna always commend. I might get to make a Zach Lowe shirt, man. That where's the integrity in anybody that's following the game? That we talking about a human being. Just to me, that took balls. Not going on TV. Perkins is making a lot of. I'm gonna get to that later. Kendrick Perkins talks way too much. You're on TV talking about made a mistake, giving Rudy Gobert Defensive Player of the Year. Come on, bro. Like, I need you need your vote rescinded. Yeah, just hand it in. Zach Lowe did that already. Do the right thing. All you guys are on TV, especially on First Take.
Who you think should be voting? Who you think should be voting for this award? This is because you don't want players because it's going to be freaking biased. It's a tricky situation on who vote. That's another great conversation we need to have, and another conversation I think we need to bring up, especially with these finals. Who are the top 10 role players of all time? I think that's a conversation we need to have
I'll get to the first question real quick. I think it's pretty easy. Treat it like college. Who are the Jaylen Browns of basketball analysts? Gilbert Arenas, you lose a vote. You ain't getting my vote to vote because you guys are on television clearly, and we're doing the same thing, but I don't want to vote because my mind can change. I ask people like yourself who study the game, and I break it down that way. So my vote will be based on, a collective. It will be an AllBall TV vote. I want all of us on here to be as a collection to make that kind of vote and prove and explain why you made that vote. And even before you get to even vote like that, you should be able to. Yeah, that's right. That's facts. All media is biased too, and it's what they're biased to. Like, remember, out of nowhere in the middle of the season, Stephen A. Smith and Draymond Green started saying, "Yo, Jason Tatum needs to be in the MVP conversation because they're the best team in the league and he's their best player." Oh, okay, so where did that philosophy go to when it came to Rudy Gobert, the number one defense with their best defender, in a lot of people's minds? They didn't give an alternative, so it's the same kind of philosophy. You can't just say stuff like, "Oh, best player, best team." Nah, he wasn't even a top 6 guy for a lot for many of us and for the guys that finally voted. So I believe they have to present a reason why they should be a voter. Like JJ Redick, in my opinion, he can vote, even though we think he's biased towards LeBron and everything like that with Clutch Sports. Yes, but he goes on a podcast every day or every other day, damn near. He's calling the championship. He's calling games. He's breaking the game down. He has to study them. He sounds like, Dr. Jack Ramsey and these dudes, Hubie Brown and these dudes. I hope they get a vote. I hope Hubie Brown was allowed to vote. He might have biases too.
I think he used to be a vote. I think he used to be a voter. I think he used to be a voter. I doubt, but I think he used to be a voter.
I hope so, because the people like that, we have a recorded, documented opinion from them, their philosophy, and we get to go, you know what? But I don't even agree with you. I don't even agree with you, but I understand exactly what you're saying, and you gain my vote and confidence in you as a voter. You know what I mean? And let's say JJ Redick, for all the stuff that we criticize him for, I think he's biased against the past, everything like that. All these biases, you can't escape bias. You're a human being. We're all biased, right? But it's the people that prove that they attempt to escape the biases. Those are the guys that we have to go, okay, you're onto something. But a lot of Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith, even though Kendrick Perkins is a newfound, Knicks fan or whatever, it doesn't matter. Even he, to me, is like, you haven't proven to me that you escaped the bias. It seems like you're going for the hot take. And if you're going your day-to-day trying to back up a hot take, it's tough for me to really believe you and your vote.
Yeah, yeah, you have a good point. But then, we live in a crazy world where people who still not going to be satisfied, regardless of how you voted. No, dog, it's the truth. It's the truth. And I felt like Jaylen Brown should have been on one of those All NBA teams. I feel like he deserves it
this season.
Yeah.
Let's look up the All NBA teams real quick. Turbo's on here, and it feels like it's back in the old school. And you're gonna make me go on for 5 more hours. Don't make me do that, because I will. I'll go on Twitter and look for topics, hot topics. We'll go to the comments and get hot topics. I got bags in the eyes, and my wife will kill me. She told me to get some sleep. But hey, if you hear a Spanish accent in the background going crazy, and I shut a black screen goes about, don't worry, I'm all right. Turbo will take the lead, and I had to get some rest. All NBA teams 2024. 2024, not 2023. Let's look that up while we're in the mix here. If you paid from Clutch, you can't vote. Hey, by the way, y'all, before we look up the all NBA votes, we're gonna have an all ball team, the all ball team, all ball first team, all ball second team. We're gonna do that later on this year too. Before I forget, hey, like, share, comment, subscribe.
As far as the ball players, like how we did last year, like who was the top 10 this season, like how we did, yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
It'll be 15 players, but
okay.
Like, share, comment, subscribe.
I definitely want to be on that panel.
Definitely. Listen, real quick, Turbo, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're on a computer or on a PC, it's easier to actually join us. You can hit all notifications, hit the bell button for all notifications, tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're on the PC or the computer, join us to be all part of the AllBall TV membership, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Giannis shouldn't have been first team this year. That might be that's definitely it. Wow. Wow. You think Giannis should have been All NBA this year? All NBA first team, Turbo?
Nah. Probably maybe second or third, because Milwaukee was one of the, one of the top seeds. But I don't think
Milwaukee was what, fourth? Oh no, they were third. Yeah, Milwaukee was the third seed, right?
Yeah.
So the first team, All NBA, Jalen. No, that was the second team.
That's the same.
First team was Giannis, Luka, Shea, Joker, and Tatum.
Can't be mad at that.
If we had to take somebody off, who's arguable out of there?
It'll probably
I
be
think
Giannis.
because everybody else
had great seasons.
Yeah, Luka was killing.
Yeah.
He was a top 4 seed. I know it's the West. How many guys out West? Dallas, OKC, Nuggets. 3 out of the 5 were in the West.
Yeah.
You got Luka. You got 4 of these guys with MVP in the MVP top 4 MVP, top 5 MVP, right? Yeah, because Joker, the hell, Joker, SGA was top 2. Luka was 3rd.
Yep.
Giannis was 5th. Was Tatum 4th?
I think so.
Tatum was 4th in MVP conversation?
He was? I know Jalen was top 5.
No, Jalen was 6th.
Oh.
Right? Luka, SGA. I'm sorry, Joker, SGA, Luka. I think Tatum and then Giannis.
Giannis got votes for MVP?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the? Wow.
Yeah. Giannis got like a first ballot. Or what do you call, whatever you call it. First.
Wow.
Yeah. Second team All NBA. Brunson, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was all NBA first team for like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he deserves second team All NBA. Even with Durant was playing a lot of defense.
Mm-hmm.
With Phoenix, he covered a lot of ground for them. Anthony Davis was just amazing. Anthony Davis, I could even see All NBA first team over Tatum,
or over Giannis.
Yeah,
he should have been. Yeah, Anthony Davis should have been on the all first team over Giannis.
That's arguable, especially being a defensive player of the year. Like he got snubbed out of that also, right? He wasn't even top 3 defensive player of the year candidate. Turbo?
Nah, it was him, Rudy Gobert. Who else? Who else was in that candidate? Yeah,
and Bam.
Bam out of bite. Well, yeah, Bam. You know, he's been holding down Miami for a long time, so I can see it. Because without Bam, Miami is down the drain.
Third team All NBA was Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James, and Sabonis. Steph Curry is tough to be in there. Steph Curry versus Jaylen Brown, because we're trying to see where Jaylen Brown fit here. Sabonis was tough.
Yeah, Sabonis was definitely tough.
LeBron.
Now you can make an argument with Booker because Booker was in and out. Booker was in and out this season. So if there was anybody you would have to take on this team, on the third team, I think I would have to take. I would replace. I would put Brown and take Booker off.
Turbo, I got a crazy. Flea gets mad at me.
Uh-oh.
Yo, peace, AllBall Nation. I gotta go. Will you be back online later, Fabian? 7:30 tonight. We should be online. It is Friday. It's movie night for me and the babies. I think my son got to choose a movie first. But yeah, Greg, come on now. We should be posting something up later as well. That's what I'm saying. Giannis this year wasn't All NBA. Not saying he's not great, but this year, no, he should be third. If LeBron is third All NBA, it's tough because Giannis was crazy. Like 60-point game, he went nuts this year.
Yeah,
it's tough. And then to think, if Giannis and Tatum on the same team.
But no, what you were gonna say? Because you said Flea would have been mad at you.
Oh man, speaking of Giannis, his post game has gotten amazing, way better. It didn't show up in the playoffs when it mattered most. We were out in December. I was hyping it up. Akeem Olajuwon, the whole Akeem Olajuwon effect. I don't know. Will Adams said that the Kawhi spot should have went to Jaylen Brown. I believe, Turbo, Giannis is quite overrated on the defensive end. Flea believes that he's a rim protector. He doesn't get beat too much on the defense. I believe he does not play great one-on-one defense. And the fact that it's him and Brook Lopez.
He plays better one-on-one defense than Gobert. That's for sure. Because Gobert can't guard a parked car if you put it right in front of him. That's why Minnesota lost to Dallas. They didn't go small.
And you can't just go small against Giannis.
Huh?
And you can't just go small against Giannis. Damn, Turbo with the facts. Turbo facts. Damn it.
I was having an argument with people at Montreal. I can see why people was like feeling like, yo, this guy is a four-time defensive player. Oh, he's a great help defender, but he's not the best one-on-one defender because you always gotta take him out every time. When other
just give Drew Holiday Defensive Player of the Year the last 7 years. I'd rather that than Gobert win 4. Marcus Smart did not deserve that award. Triple J did not deserve that award. Like, what are we talking about, man?
I have a list of guys that should have won Defensive Player of the Year. I think I did an episode on guys that should have won, but like you said, people are biased when it comes to, like you said, with those awards, because it's only like 85% big guys only win that award. Really rare that little guys like that's like, and I consider like 6'5" and under hardly ever wins the Defensive Player of the Year award.
You know what? Just by you saying that, a lot of votes for Gobert should have been disqualified automatically, because in this era, if the big man is being X'd out, and then you don't even have the real big man, like, just if you look at that, if you look at the Defensive Player of the Year, and 100 years from now, you go, hold on, he was the Defensive Player of the Year 4 times. Like, how great was he? Okay, number one defenses, all right, but he doesn't represent. Hold on a second, Turbo. If he doesn't represent the type of big man that you want, that represents this. Bam Adebayo represents the big man. Anthony Davis, if you're going to give it to anyone, you got to give it to the guy, the big man that represents the kind of big man style of play that dominates this era. With the, like, shout out to Dom Dropper. He always implemented this for me. The second round and further in the playoffs, that's when you're challenged the most on a team level. But we got to see what this Defensive Player of the Year thing is about. If it ain't worthy at that level, I'm not even talking about conference finals. I'm not talking about the finals. Forget about getting there. In the second round, did you dominate? We're not even talking about the best teams in the conference yet. We're just talking about the second round teams. And Gobert couldn't dominate that. So no way possible. Like, look what Bam is doing even in the playoffs. He's still helpful. If Bam was on Minnesota.
Oh, gosh. They'd be in the finals right now.
If
They'll be
you
in the
could
finals.
trade Cat and Goldberg for Bam,
Oh gosh.
serious business.
Oh, Minnesota is winning the finals with Bam Adebayo in the middle. Because he's gonna defend, he's gonna change shots. He does it all. Yo, that'd be a good topic when the next time y'all go on live and you talk about the defensive end. And make sure I get the credit for that one. Because you said I kept you long. I'm sorry, bro.
No. It's not your fault. It's who you are. It's who we are. We start talking about basketball, and it's like these are the people I want to talk basketball with.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
Just challenge each other, see if we're on the right track. Tell me, no, Fabian, you're bugging. Giannis.
This is crazy how all four of us got chemistry together, and we hardly ever know each other. It felt like we've known each other for over 30 years, man. And we got this crazy, this chemistry between us is so crazy. But they always say sometimes it's better to do business with strangers than your closest friends. It's crazy how that works.
And you hear it all the time. You gotta get going, or definitely I gotta get going. It's 9 o'clock. That's crazy. 9 o'clock. Right. Listen, man. Turbo, thanks for joining me.
Of course.
We could literally, guys, you ain't even see the marathon yet. We've been up watching highlights of what's my guy? The Iron Sheik at 5 in the morning going 8 hours. We don't play any games.
Oh, that's a fact. That was a classic. That was a classic episode. That's probably one of the best episodes we did. That was crazy.
That was nuts.
For sure.
Listen, man, that's Turbo.
See y'all later. You already know. Talk with your boy is still alive. Listen, just before I get out of here, just want to plug something. Next week, Africa Park Classic out here in Rochdale, right across the street from the Long Island Railroad, will be starting. Weather permitted. If the weather is good, make sure you come out. We got spikes coming out, so we're going to have DJ, MCs, giveaway for the kids, for the concerts, everything. So if y'all around the Queens area, come through, show some love for the kids. Competition is going to be very seriously. So y'all go on my page and my story. You're going to see me posting all of the divisions and all the teams that's going to be participating. It's going to get real. It's getting real out here, man. Summer basketball is back, baby. The best place to be in the summertime for New York City basketball is New York City. And you got 100 options to go see good games. Okay.
Come on, man.
I'm dropping the mic on that one. Dropping the mic on that one. Love you,
Big
bro.
Turbo.
You already know. Yes, sir.
Love you too, man. Big Turbo in the building. I'm Fabian Perspective. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.